through and it finished goalless. A great start for Sunderland. Here at Molineux, this grand old stadium. Halfway line on this near side, the Wolves left. Thrown short to Strand Larsen, back to David Muller-Wolf. Strand Larsen again. Battling for it was Bellegarde. Seen much of the ball at all so far. His compatriot Strand Larsen's had more touches for Wolves, but a lot of those have been coming deep to try and link up with his midfield. No real chances of note as yet. Ball back with John Stones, who has to organise his feet and find Rico Lewis. Lewis to Diaz. Diaz short of the centre circle, central position. Here is Rico Lewis to the right of that circle. Haaland comes deep to the halfway line to get a touch and play it back to Nico Gonzalez. Haaland was on the move forward there, but he didn't get the ball played to him. Here's Oscar Bobb on the right-hand side. Once more, faced by Muller-Wolf. He takes him on, Angel Gomez. Here's Rico Lewis. He can pull this back, and it's come off a Wolves' foot. That of Agbadou, and behind for a corner. That was much more progressive from City. Bobb linking up well with Rico Lewis. Lewis got between João Gomez and Totti to pull the ball back, but Agbadou was well positioned at the near post to concede the corner. So another corner from the right for Bernardo Silva. Into the box it goes, headed away at the near post. City back in possession though, and they can give it back to the corner taker, Bernardo Silva. Another dangerous ball into the box. Haaland is up for it, but heads off target. And City can't keep the ball in, and it's out for a goal kick. Well, you would have said normally that Haaland getting onto the end of a ball like that might have been able to do a little better. It may have taken a deflection off the defender in front of him, or maybe he was unsighted, but he was well off target there. Not a great start to this game for Erling Haaland. Still fancied by many to be the Golden Boot winner. As we come to the 18th minute, and a round of applause for Diogo Jota, because that's the shirt number he wore when he was here as a player. Wolves fans generous in their tribute. Wolves' attack there was broken up by Trafford coming out to gather the ball at the feet of Strand Larsen. City back in possession in the centre circle. They work it left. Here's Jeremy Doku. Doku tucking it down the line. It's a good ball. Can they get a ball in? Surely Haaland. No, he's headed over the bar. Oh my goodness. Erling Haaland, the goal was gaping. Goalkeeper out of position. Ball played across. And Haaland gets underneath the header and heads it over the crossbar. Well, when you're as good a forward as Erling Haaland, that's a sitter. And the Norwegian has missed it. My word, that is a glaring miss. Oscar Bob, who was behind him, put his hands on his head. He couldn't believe it. Everyone was waiting for the net to bulge. And Haaland has missed a sitter. Wolves are caught offside on the counter-attack. Manetzi went too early. He protests to the assistant referee, but he was well off. Well offside. Yeah, a good yard offside. Strand Larsen was going through the middle, waiting for a tuck-back, but the flag put an end to all of that. But that is a glaring miss by Erling Haaland, it really is. If you see that on television later, you won't believe that he missed it. Well, can City create another chance, either for Haaland or someone else? I'm sure they will in the course of the 90 minutes, but Doku here is hustled off the ball. Wolves are biting into the tackle, and they've won the ball back here. They've played the ball down the left-hand side, looking for Muller-Wolf. It was well cut out by City, who've won themselves a throw just short of the halfway line on this near side there right. It's played back to Rico Lewis. Lewis plays it forward. City in possession with Rico Lewis, Bernardo Silva. That was a bit of a lazy ball forward. Reinders couldn't make the most of it. City haven't really hit stride yet. Here's João Gomez trying to break forward. Finds Strand Larsen, and Strand Larsen's brought to ground by Ruben Diaz, and that will be a free kick to Wolves. And there are signs of frustration here from the Manchester City players. Not just that Haaland miss, I don't think, but just the fact that they haven't really clicked into gear as yet. Wolves have got in and around them, made life difficult. They've not created a lot so far, the men in old goal, but they might now. They've got this free kick. It's just to the left of the centre circle in Manchester City territory. They've sent plenty of players forward. There's a line of players about 12 or 15 yards outside the Manchester City penalty area. It's going to be Bellegarde to loft it forward. He does so. Has he overhit that, or will Totti Gomez retrieve it? Gomez hooks it across the goal, away by Bernardo Silva. Back to Bellegarde. Bellegarde sends it right. They can still get forward here, but rather a heavy touch from Hoiver allows City to get it over the far touchline for a throw to Wolves, just inside the City half. But as we reach the midway point of the first half, I think Wolves will be pretty happy. They've had a let-off with Erling Haaland's glaring miss. They play a ball forward here, and Trafford's out quickly to head the ball out over the far touchline for a throw. Looks as if Wolves had beaten the offside trap on that occasion. They pick the ball up again, the home side, in their own half with Agbadou. Here's Totti. Totti to Andre, who seems to have shaken off that blow to the head in the first half. Only 28% possession for Wolves, but they're coming forward here with Manetzi. Strand Larsen's in the middle. It's pulled back, and João Gomez, I think it was, that was bursting onto the ball. Didn't manage to get a shot in. He burst onto the ball, but he took a heavy touch. I think he was trying to gather it in so that he could have a shot against Trafford, but the ball escaped him, and Trafford claimed it. But Wolves showing a little bit of ambition, getting a few players into the penalty area. Perhaps growing in confidence because of City's inability to really hurt them so far. Here's Doku trying to do that for City. He had a bright first 10 minutes, but haven't seen a lot of him since. Here's Nico Gonzalez. John Stones, Oscar Bob, retreating back towards the halfway line though. Wolves holding their shape. Tijani Reinders got a touch. But again, City back on the halfway line. Here's Rico Lewis. John Stones on this near touchline, the City right. Stones running in field. Gives it to Lewis. Here's Tijani Reinders. And now Oscar Bob. Bob back to Reinders. That's good from him. Can he find a way through? Sorted his feet well, got it into the box, but it's too far ahead of Haaland. And Sarr comes out to claim. That was good feet from Reinders. Munetzi's picked up the long ball out though. Looking to find Strand Larsen in the middle. Slide challenge from Ryan Aitnori. Out for a throw on the far side. Munetzi seems to be the out ball for Wolves on that right-hand side. Trying to expose the fact that Ryan Aitnori likes to venture forward. Trying to get in behind him. He recovered well there. The former Wolves man to deny his ex-teammate. But it looks a useful tactic for Wolves. A couple of times the offside flags come to City's aid. But they look dangerous there in that position. Here's Agbadou once more. Standing on the ball. Giving it to Andre, who tries to make progress forward. Bernardo Silva gets a tackle in, as does Doku, but Doku's been penalised for a foul. So Wolves take the free kick quickly. Get a ball in. Here's Strand Larsen. Great challenge by Ruben Diaz. Breaks out to the edge of the area. That was really good from Diaz. But here's another ball in, and Munetzi's headed it home. Wolves have taken the lead at Molineux. Oh, well, they thought they had. The flag's gone up from the assistant. VAR will check this. Let's have a look. Strand Larsen's original effort was blocked by Ruben Diaz. It was played backwards and it's played in, and Munetzi is a yard offside. But City were caught out a little there. I'm not sure they deliberately played the offside. And the initial ball in was threatening for Strand Larsen as well. So Manchester City with a few issues here. They've been exposed a couple of times down the left side of their defence. And City haven't created a lot other than Haaland's glaring headed miss. But it remains 0-0. Doherty's been penalised for a challenge on Jeremy Doku. Referees come across and said no more of that. I think Doherty thought for a minute he might get a booking for that. And I think on another day he might have done. That might be first day leniency. But Doku was wrestled to the ground there by Doherty. So it's a free kick which Bernardo Silva's going to take. City could do with creating some threat here. 27.5 minutes gone at Molineux. Wolves 0, Manchester City 0. Bernardo Silva with the free kick from the left. Just trying to see how far from the goal it is. It's probably 30 yards out on the angle. Almost level with the left-hand edge. Bernardo Silva plays it in. It's a poor one. It's headed away to the edge of the area. Reinders to Oscar Bob. Can Bob get a cross in? He's dinked it in, but I think it's straight into the hands of Jose Sarr. Another poor delivery from Manchester City. They've had a few balls in, particularly from the right-hand side, which have not been of the quality you would expect from the 10-time Premier League champions. Manchester City get the ball back in their own half. Oh, that's a strong challenge, but the referee says a fair one. Set Gomez going forward. Here's Bellegarde looking for room for the shot. It's come through. Here's a chance. Saved by Trafford and hooked away by Manchester City. Well, that was a chance. I think that's Munetzi again, but the flag's up against him. It wouldn't have counted. Trafford didn't know that and was out at the feet of the wide man to make the save. Once again, Munetzi getting himself into a dangerous position. He was offside, it wouldn't have counted. But Trafford did well to get out at his feet and make the stop. But Manchester City, who didn't look great last season, not looking great today. Almost gave the ball away again there down by their own touchline. They've managed to clear it to the halfway line and win a throw. But Pep Guardiola That brow looks a little furrowed in this first half, and so it might be, because City have not been anywhere near their best so far. John Stones, can he change that? He's on the halfway line, right on the right-hand edge of the centre circle. Bernardo Silva to Ruben Diaz, who's played a couple of loose passes in this first half. Here's Reinders looking to ride the tackle of Andre. Referee says Reinders was fouled. Gives a free kick, taken quickly by City. They're playing it out to the left-hand side, and Doku looking to get at Højbjerg, but Højbjerg stands his ground well. Got a foot in. It's back in City possession though. City trying to re-establish the control they had early in this game. Wolves have got more and more confident as the half has gone on. Here is Doku for City. Doku, faced by two defenders, gets it back to Ryan Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri gets the ball across the box, but I think again Sarr will claim that quite comfortably and runs out to the edge of his penalty area. And not really put him under any pressure with those high crosses, Jose Sarr. And Wolves, other than that miss by Haaland when he really should have scored, have been relatively comfortable so far. Strand Larsen contests it with Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes down. Referee's whistle goes. Strand Larsen acts as if he's completely bemused by the decision, but I think the foot was high. And Larsen is bellowing in the ear of the official now. Yeah, that foot is too high, I'm afraid. Ruben Diaz makes a bit of a meal of it, but the foot is too high. Here is Diaz. And now Nico Gonzalez. Diaz once more. Touched off. It's come to the right-hand side, and Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva back inside for Stones. Stones to Silva once more, who ventures down the right flank. Plays a little 1-2, gets into the penalty area. It will break to the edge of the box, and Gonzalez, his shot is blocked by Manetzi. Ryan Aït-Nouri then tries a shot, which is blocked by Ogbadu. City putting on a little bit of pressure just past the half-hour mark. Here's Bob, Oscar Bob. Still got it in the penalty area on the right-hand side. Can he do anything with it? He's got it across the area. It's cleared away to the edge, and now fully cleared to the halfway line by Wolves. So good trickery in the area by Bob, but it didn't really come to anything in the end. Here's Ruben Diaz, and now it's worked its way out to Bob once more on the right-hand touchline. His ball into the box again is right across to the far side, and Doku, who's almost had to shield his eyes from the sun to receive that ball. Nico Gonzalez back to Doku once more, faced by Højbjerg once again. Ryan Aït-Nouri takes on his man, gets to the edge of the penalty area, goes down under challenge. Referee says play on. Doku once more to the left of the penalty area. Will he put in a deep cross, or will he go for the byline? Does neither. Ryan Aït-Nouri. Now Nico Gonzalez. Will he have a strike from distance? Well, he did, but it was half blocked. Wolves cleared to the halfway line, and Diaz has to go all the way back to Trafford. Once again, City are frustrated, struggling to find a way through this old goal defence. Wolves cheered on by their home support, acting as their 12th man. But forward comes City again. That ball's played through. Dangerous from Lewis, and Haaland tucks it in at the far post. Well, he missed a sitter earlier on, but he wasn't going to spurn that one. Rico Lewis did really well on the right-hand side of the box, rolled it across, and Haaland was unfettered at the far post and just poked it home from 2 or 3 yards out. And Manchester City, after a largely frustrating first half, have got themselves in front. Wolves 0, Manchester City 1. Who else? Erling Haaland. Well, they played the ball out to this right-hand side. It was a good run by Reinders. He found Rico Lewis. And the ball's gone in at the far post. Now, has it gone in off the defender, looking at this again? Did it go in off Agbadou? No, it didn't. It came past Agbadou. And it was put home by Haaland. Agbadou tried to get a foot in because he knew Haaland was behind him. But he couldn't get anything on the ball. And Haaland, having missed one open goal in this half, wasn't going to miss two. So he's up and running for the season. Should have two on the board, but he's got one. And Manchester City lead at Molineux. Haaland with the double-fisted salute to the City fans. So Manchester City lead in the 34th minute. Can Wolves respond? Or will that release the handbrake a little bit for Manchester City? Here is Agbadou, who just couldn't get anything on that cross. Bellegarde, ball across the box, dangerously. Trafford does well. Slides out, reads the danger. Gets there before Strand Larsen. Was brought up here at Manchester City. Went away and got promoted with Burnley. Manchester City said, we like the look of that, we'll have our former youth academy graduate back, please. Had to pay a sum of money to get him. And he appears to have seized the number one shirt. There's talk of Donnarumma, of course, coming in from PSG, but Trafford's got first run. He might have been busy again there if that cross had come in from the right from Hoiver, but it didn't. It was blocked off at source. Throw to Wolves, though, who have definitely had some joy down that right-hand side. Not been able to create a big chance as yet, and they've given the ball away in a key area here. City are 3-on-2, and they've played it through. Here's a chance for two, and it is two. That's a really good finish from Tijani Reinders. The debutant has opened his account for Manchester City, and they've struck twice in 3 minutes to take this game by the scruff. Wolves 0, Manchester City 2, and Tijani Reinders has struck a second blow for the men in blue. It's a lovely goal. He was involved in the build-up for the first goal. It's a slack pass from Agbadou, and it looked dangerous. It was a 3-on-2. It was played to Reinders, who hit it first time left-footed. He didn't give Sarr a chance to really set himself for the shot. Maybe Sarr thought the ball would be played to Haaland instead, but he didn't get a chance to set, and it was fired across him into the opposite corner, nestling in the side netting. It's a lovely strike. And when Tijani Reinders scores, his team usually wins. He scored 13 goals in AC Milan's colours last season, and it led to victory on 10 occasions. Well, Manchester City have clear water. They lead by 2-0 here at Molineux. And Tijani Reinders has quickly endeared himself to the City faithful. I know I'm saying this after the event now, but I've seen quite a lot of Tijani Reinders playing both for AC Milan and Holland. And I thought he was a very shrewd acquisition from Pep Guardiola, particularly given that Rodri is being eased back to fitness. Guardiola said that we'd see him very soon. I'm not sure it will be at Reinders' expense, though, because he is a very good signing indeed. Here are City once more, looking like they smell blood now. And Oscar Bob is trying to get in down the right-hand side. Andre comes across to try and clear away. Wolf plays it down the left-hand side. City belt it out of play for a throw to Wolves. So it wasn't that long ago that Wolves had the ball in the net through Menezzi, but it was disallowed for offside. And now Manchester City are 2 up and cruising. Can the home side do anything about it? Well, we've got another stoppage because there's been a clash of heads, I think, which has led to one of the Wolves players going down, holding his head. Happened on this near side. It may be Jean-Ric Nabellegard who's gone down, so the physio's out on the pitch. Just to say, plenty of other matches coming your way on Flash Score over this weekend. Premier League action from the Emirates tomorrow, from Old Trafford tomorrow, as Manchester United face Arsenal. Plenty of that's the 4:30 kickoff tomorrow, of course, but other games too to be enjoyed before that. We've also got Chelsea against Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest against Brentford, and plenty of Dutch action too. Go Ahead Eagles against Ajax, and FC 20 against PSV Eindhoven, the Dutch champions. So plenty to enjoy. We're seeing again the Manchester City goals while we've got the stoppage. Lovely finish by Tijani Reinders. He goes to the fans almost apologetically and says, well, this is me. Hope you like me. Well, I'm sure they will if he keeps side-footing the ball into the back of the net. We're back in play. And Manchester City have picked up the ball again with Nico Gonzalez. And here's Ruben Diaz. Diaz to Ryan Aït-Nouri. 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go in the first half. There'll be a fair amount of that because we've had a couple of concussion checks in this half, and also the goals, of course, so we may have 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time, I would think. Here's Gonzalez breaking into the area. It's taken 3 to stop him. He gets it back to Reinders, and his ball into the penalty area. Cannons off a Wolves shirt and behind for a corner. Reinders playing with a smile on his face. He's enjoying his debut. Well, I guess you would if you've scored and your side's 2 to the good. It's another corner on the right for City. Their corners seem to have arrived from that direction. So it's another in-swinger for Bernardo Silva. The experienced midfielder is going to put this one into the box again. Heads go up, skims off Haaland, comes to Doku. Doku twists and turns, looking to get another cross in. Has he won another corner, this time on the other side? Yes, he has. His attempt to get the ball in was blocked. In the meantime, Strand Larsen is down. He signals to one of his teammates that he seems to have a problem with his left foot. The referee's come across to pull him to his feet. Maybe the referee felt that Strand Larsen was trying to take some heat out of the game with his side under pressure. Officials have been told to watch for players wasting time, feigning injury. I'm not saying Strand Larsen was doing that, but he was keeping an eye. In comes the outswinger. It's headed forward by Diaz. Haaland gets a header in as well. Comes out as far as Reinders, who dinks it forward. Here is Doku now on the opposite flank. Lovely little back heel from Doku. Reinders tried to link up, and he's won the throw on that near side, the Manchester City right. Oscar Bob is going to take that throw. Actually, he isn't. He's decided to throw it to Lewis instead. City seems to be taking a lot of time over this throw. I'd be playing quickly if I were them. I think they've got Wolves well and truly on the ropes as we approach half-time. They may be able to sneak a third goal. Here's Haaland touching the ball back to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva to Diaz. Diaz now out to Doku on the left-hand side. He runs to the left edge. Here's Ryan Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri tucking the ball backwards. Comes to Stones. Ruben Diaz now turns his back on the challenge of Strand Larsen. Out to the left-hand side to Doku. We're in the final minute of the half. There will be time added on, though. And quite a bit of it, I would think. Here's Rico Lewis on the right-hand side for City. To the right-hand touchline and Bob. Excuse me. Bob into the penalty area. Half cleared away. It's come out as far as Stones. Stones now to Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Rico Lewis. City seem content to sit on their 2 goals for the time being. They've given the ball away to David Muller-Wolf. And he's won a throw on this near side for Wolves. 5 minutes of time added on, so we're only 13 seconds into that. So plenty of time for something else to happen. Late in the half here at Molineux on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Here's Muller-Wolf. Strand Larsen. Manchester City break up that attack, but Muller-Wolf sets Wolves going forward again. It's got a bit scrappy on this near side, but Strand Larsen has it, plays it in field. Good ball. Rickner Bellegarde, he's got a man out wide on the right-hand side. Ball dinked into the area. Strand Larsen attempted to scoop it home. I think it may have hit him on the wrong foot. I think he went to scoop it in right-footed, and maybe it hit him on the left foot. And that's why there was no power in it, but that was good from Wolves. It was a good ball in. I don't know that it would have counted anyway, because Strand Larsen may have been in an offside position, but it did indeed hit him on the left foot as he tried to hit it right-footed. Manchester City tried to come out of defence, but they've lost the ball once more. Wolves have it on the right-hand side, played back into a central position, and Andre, he sprays it to the left. Muller-Wolf keeps it in play with his head, and the referee's decided that that's been put behind for a corner. Rico Lewis thought he was fouled. The player came in the back of him. The referee decided that the challenge was legitimate. I'm not sure it was. I think he barged Rico Lewis right in the back, Manetzi. So City may be aggrieved if Wolves score from this corner. Rico Lewis has just mouthed to the official, "What are you doing?" I'm not sure that's terribly wise. He could get booked for dissent for that. Should concentrate on defending this left-sided corner now that it's been given. Ball's played in. Trafford comes out and fists away, not very far. Here's a chance for João Gomez. He's dinked it back across, but Trafford's claimed it. Just above the head of Erling Haaland, who was getting ready to jump to head it away. Didn't need to, because his goalkeeper came. Trafford's done well in the first half. He's slid out at feet and he's claimed crosses well. So he's had a good half in City colours. Here comes City again with John Stones. He's got man ahead of him. Here's Reinders again, breaking into the penalty area, forcing Agbadou to concede the corner. He's had a really good half, the Dutchman. Very, very good indeed. Tijani Reinders. Partially of Indonesian descent. On his mother's side, but his father is Dutch. Here's Bernardo Silva with another right-wing corner. 3 and a bit minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Can City bag a third? In comes the corner. Haaland heads on, comes to Doku. Well, he didn't control it properly. I think the referee may have given handball against him if Wolves hadn't won the ball back. They've hoisted the ball out on the far side for a throw. Haaland won the header. It ran to Doku. Yeah, I'm not sure that handball wouldn't have been given against him if he'd managed to scoop that in. It looked like a handball. Certainly got himself into an awkward position with his arm prominent. But Manchester City, after a frustrating first half an hour, where Haaland missed a sitter, will be pretty satisfied with where they've ended up, with a minute of stoppage time left in the first half. Wolves 0, Manchester City 2. Haaland and Reinders the scorers. Muller-Wolf with a throw on this near side. midway inside his own half. Looking for someone to throw it to. He throws it short to Strand Larsen, who turns his man, who was Reinders. Gets it over the halfway line to Rickner Bellegarde. He does well to find a colleague, but then Wolves lose the ball. Oh, that was neat from Oscar Bob. Turned away from Strand Larsen, got tripped. We're in the final minute of the stoppage time at the end of the half. Manchester City with a free kick on halfway. Referee Gillet having a word with Strand Larsen. Well, 15 minutes ago, Pep Guardiola might have been preparing a completely different half-time team talk. It'll look a little different now that City are 2 to the good. Will the half-time whistle go as soon as the free kick's taken? Well, no, it looks like we're going to play another phase, and it's headed behind for a corner. Will there be time for the corner? No, there won't. City disappointed that there's no time for the set piece, but they won't be disappointed at the score, because they lead by 2-0, courtesy of a tap-in for Erling Haaland, and a lovely finish from the debutant, Tijani Reinders. All that came after Haaland had missed a sitter earlier on in the half when he headed over the bar with the goal gaping. Wolves have had a goal disallowed from Marshall Manetzi. It was offside, so the officials got that right. But a lot to do for Wolves, who look like they're going to fall foul of their August curse once more.